everybody, my name is BC Begley, and these are your news headlines for January the 31st of 2023. Western allies differ over fighter jets for Ukraine as Russia claims gains. Ukraine's defense minister is expected in Paris on Tuesday to meet President Emmanuel Macron amid a debate among Kiev's allies over whether to provide fighter jets for its war against Russia after the United States President Joe Biden ruled out giving F-16s. Ukraine planned to push for Western fourth-generation fighters like F-16s after securing supplies of main battle tanks last week, an advisor to Defense Minister said on Friday. Asked at the White House on Monday if the United States would provide F-16s, Biden told reporters no. But France and Poland appear to be willing to entertain such request from Ukraine, with Macron telling reporters in The Hague on Monday that, quote, by definition, nothing is excluded when it comes to military assistance. Ukraine pushes for Western fighter jets after tanks deal. Ukraine won support Tuesday from Baltic nations and Poland in its quest to obtain fighter jets, but there were no signs that larger nations like the United States and Britain have changed their stance of refusing to provide the warplanes to Kiev after almost a year of battling Russia's invading forces. Quote, Ukraine needs fighter jets, missiles, tanks. We need to act, the Estonian foreign minister said in the Latvian capital of Riga at a news conference with his Baltic and Polish colleagues. Those countries, which lie on NATO's eastern flank, feel especially threatened by Russia and have been the leading advocates for providing military aid. The Ukrainian defense minister held talks with his French counterpart, saying that they did not discuss specific fighter jets, but they did talk about aviation platforms to help Ukraine's ground-to-air defense. Santos steps down from committee assignments. Embattled Republican Representative George Santos of New York will not serve on the two House committees to which he was recently assigned until the investigations into his conduct have concluded, his office said on Tuesday. Quote, the congressman is reserving his seats on his assigned committees until he has been properly cleared of both campaign and personal finance investigations, said his spokeswoman. Santos informed Republican lawmakers during a closed-door conference meeting in Washington, D.C. earlier on Tuesday that, quote, he's not accepting the committee assignments until things get cleared up, according to a longtime GOP lawmaker who was in the room. This person declined to be named to discuss private conversations. Santos' decision to recuse himself from the two panels marks one of the first tangible repercussions he has faced since admitting he fabricated key details about his biography. But he maintains he is not about to step down. Quote, no, I'm not considering resigning, Santos told a reporter Tuesday morning as he rushed back into his office. Top Arizona election official seeks campaign violation probe of Kari Lake. Failed Republican candidate Kari Lake could soon face felony charges in Arizona after tweeting out pictures of voter signatures as a criminal referral was sent by the Arizona Secretary of State, Adrian Fontes. Lake, who lost Arizona's gubernatorial race to Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs by over 17,000 votes, has still yet to concede, claiming that the 2022 election was stolen from her by widespread voter fraud and inaccuracies. In Lake's election lawsuit, which was dismissed in court last month by Judge Peter Thompson, the former candidate endorsed by ex-President Donald Trump alleged that printing issues with voter machines in Maricopa County disenfranchised same-day voters. Thompson ruled in December, however, that Lake's legal team did not provide clear evidence of election workers intentionally interrupting the vote. Trump sues Woodward for releasing interview recordings. Former United States President Donald Trump is suing journalist Bob Woodward for releasing recordings of interviews that he gave to the journalist in 2019 and 2020, claiming he never agreed to those tapes being shared with the public. In a lawsuit filed Monday against Woodward, Simon & Schuster Incorporated, and the publisher's parent company Paramount Global, Trump claimed that although he had given Woodward consent to record their conversations, quote, for the sole purpose of a book, that didn't extend to packaging those recordings as an audiobook. The Donald Trump-Ron DeSantis rivalry has reached a boiling point. The long, simmering tensions between former U.S. President Donald Trump and Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis are nearing a boiling point amid signs that DeSantis and his team are actively moving toward a 2024 presidential run. Governor DeSantis' national ambitions have long irked Trump, who sees himself as the Florida governor's political benefactor and the GOP's presumptive 2024 nominee. But former President Trump's frustration became more apparent over the weekend when he called out DeSantis during his first major campaign swing. Quote, if he runs, that's fine. I'm way up in the polls. He's going to have to do what he wants to do, but he may run, Trump told the Associated Press in an interview after a campaign appearance in South Carolina on Saturday. Quote, I do think it would be a great act of disloyalty because, I got him in. He had no chance. His political life was over, Trump said. Senator Tim Scott traveling to Iowa amid 2024 speculation. Republican Senator from South Carolina Tim Scott will be traveling to Iowa next month amid speculation that the senator may be considering a White House bid in 2024. Scott will be attending the Republican Party of Polk County's Iowa annual Lincoln Dinner on February the 22nd in West Des Moines, Iowa, according to an event listing on the local Republican Party's website. The event listing includes a short bio of the senator, noting his upbringing as a child of a single parent while living in poverty and touting his opportunity agenda and his involvement in the Senate Opportunity Coalition. The event ramps up speculation that Tim Scott is considering a 2024 presidential campaign, given Iowa holds the first in the nation presidential caucuses. The senator made multiple trips to the Hawkeye State last year, and his recent trip comes as other Republicans floated as potential presidential hopefuls have made their way to early primary states like New Hampshire. Hunter Biden allies are now weighing a legal defense fund for the president's son. Hunter Biden's allies have held initial discussions about creating a legal defense fund in order to pay for a growing team of attorneys that is helping him confront both a years-long federal tax investigation and a host of new congressional inquiries, according to people that are familiar with the matter. The effort has been triggered by Hunter Biden's struggles to pay his mounting legal bills amid increasingly stretched resources and his pursuit of a new, aggressive legal strategy, the people have said, speaking on the condition of anonymity to discuss a sensitive subject, of course. As consultation of lawyers have worked for Biden over the years, and he continues to add new ones as he prepares to confront the investigations that the House Republicans are starting to pursue. It's unclear exactly how much the president's son owes in legal fees, in part because some of the bills were expected to be discounted or treated as pro bono work. But three people familiar with his situation estimate his current legal debt at well into the millions of dollars, and the figure is likely to grow as he faces additional congressional investigations. Hunter Biden, who once had a lucrative career running an investment management firm, has faced financial problems for years. He has no steady source of income as he has become a public lightning rod, and his past efforts to become a Washington power player have faded amid ethical concerns. Is China preparing to blitz Taiwan? China is preparing for an all-out blitz of Taiwan. This is according to a former United States Department of Defense official. Michael Beckley said Xi Jinping will have learned from Putin's disastrous mistakes in Ukraine and will aim to, quote, hit Taiwan hard from the start and, quote, sever them from the outside world. On Tuesday, NATO's Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg also said that China is learning lessons from Putin's invasion and warned, quote, what is happening in Europe today could happen in East Asia tomorrow. China regards the self-governing island as part of its territory and has vowed to reunite it with the mainland by force if necessary. Tensions between the two nations have hit boiling point in recent months, with Beijing continuing to flex its military muscles by launching jets into Taiwan's airspace and firing missiles in haunting drills. The United States military is poised to secure new access to Philippines bases. The United States military is poised to secure expanded access to key military bases in the Philippines on the heels of a significant revamp of United States forces and posture in Japan, developments that reflect the Allies' concern with an increasingly fraught security environment in the region and a desire to deepen alliances with the United States. This is according to the U.S. and Philippine officials. While negotiations are still ongoing, an announcement is expected as soon as this week when the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin meets in Manila with his counterpart Carlito Galvez, acting Secretary of National Defense, and then with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. The expansion involves access to Philippine military bases, likely including 2 on the northern island of Luzon, which analysts say could give the United States forces a strategic position from which to mount operations in the event of a conflict in Taiwan or the South China Sea. They will also facilitate cooperation on a range of security concerns, including more rapid responses to natural disasters and climate-related events. Wall Street investors are snapping up the water rights to the Colorado River. With the federal government poised to force Western states to change how they manage the alarming shortfall in Colorado River water, there is one constituency with a growing interest in the river's fate that's little known to some, and those are Wall Street investors. That's right. Private investment firms are showing a growing interest in an increasingly scarce natural resource in the American West, water in the Colorado River. A joint investigation by CBS News and the Weather Channel, for God's sakes, has found. For some of the farmers and cities that depend on the river as a lifeline, that interest is concerning. Hey everybody, those were your news headlines for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget you can like and subscribe. You can also leave a comment. All of the links for all of the stories that I have covered, I will post in the video's description. Also, if you guys want more news, you can visit my website at bcbegley.com, and I will see you guys for more news headlines tomorrow.